Here is an FAL, Professional 12-channel Stereo Mixer. To be honest, I don't know what I was thinking when I got this. I got this off a local classifieds ad. It was about a 45-minute drive to pick it up. I paid €15 for this, so that's fine. Even if I do decide to just tear this down, I should be able to salvage at least €15 worth of parts out of this. But before I make such a decision, let's take a closer look at this and take a look inside, see how it works. Being a 12-channel mixer, this unit has 12 channel strips. Let's take a closer look at one of them. Now, there is 2 1/4-inch input jacks in the back for each channel. We'll see those in a few minutes. The first adjustment is for the level. Next along we have 4 tone controls labeled bass, 500 Hz, 2 kHz, and treble. So each channel strip has a 4-band equalizer. Next up, we have an adjustment labeled Echo. Now, this mixer does not have a built-in echo generator. All this does is you can set here a certain level, and the combined of all channels is sent out an echo send jack in the back, and you can connect that to an external echo generator, but also any other external audio effects generator. Foldback is essentially the same thing. Again, you set a certain level, all channels are combined, and the result is sent out a foldback jack in the back. And this is basically, you connect this to a monitoring amplifier so musicians can hear themselves. Next along we have a pan control and a pre-fade listening switch. And then finally, we have the slider. And God, this feels really tacky and cheap and weird. The output signal of each of the channel strips is combined together and arrives over here. Now, the first thing that we have here is a section labeled Echo. Now, this has an echo return jack on the back, and this is where the signal, the output signal of the effects generator, comes back into the mixer. Now, we do have some settings for this. You can set bass and treble of the echo. We have this. I'm not sure what this is. It says echo send, but it's labeled from 0 to 775. I have no idea what that is supposed to mean. We have a pan control for the echo, and then the level that the echo has as it's put into the mix. Moving on, we have the master faders, and those, of course, have the corresponding analog VU meters up there. And then for monitoring purposes, we have a headphone output with level adjustment, and that can be switched between either being, well, I'm not entirely sure, master foldback channel and output. I don't know. You can see what is there. So the only thing left is a power switch and a mains fuse. Here is the back of the unit. We have the mains input, IEC socket, 240 volts. We have right and left mono output jacks and a stereo output jack and the foldback output, which is of course mono. Here is a DIN jack for a tape recorder, so this is a record output. We have the echo send and return jacks, also mono of course. And then we have all the inputs for the channel strips. The upper row of jacks are low impedance balanced inputs for microphones and some such, and the lower ones are high impedance, unbalanced inputs. These are basically line level inputs. And over here it tells us what FAL stands for. Futuristic Aids Limited. I do have a feeling that by the 1980s they renamed their company. We also have an address given, Henconner Lane in Leeds. So this mixer was made in Great Britain. Here is the bottom of the unit. You can tell this has had a long and hard life. A lot of rust on here. And here is the inside of the mixer. And as you can see, this was built very nicely, the way it should be built, with an individual circuit board for each channel strip. They are connected together, in this case, with these wires. And then you have some extra circuit boards for the output section. And this is much better, much easier to service than the design of more modern mixers, which basically just have one single gigantic circuit board that is an absolute pain to disassemble. But that is basically where the nice aspects of this mixer end. This is not very good. I took a look around, took a look at the circuitry, and with the exception of these two LM380 chips over there, which are 2.5 watt audio amplifier chips for the headphone output, this entire mixer was built using the 741 operational amplifier. Now you should know the 741 was one of the very first operational amplifiers designed in 1968. So, yeah, that is absolutely not a low noise component. But there are other annoyances in this design. Now, you've already seen the headphone amplifier section. It's right there, right next to the rectifier diodes of the power supply. And the headphone jack is right down there, next to the transformer. So the headphone output is going to have a ton of buzz in it, I'm pretty sure. These sliders, I already said they felt a bit weird if you move them. Well, that's not a surprise. They're all plastic, completely made from plastic, the body and everything. Also, you can see that quite a few repairs and modifications have been done in this mixer. The first one I noticed is over here. You can see some of the 741 op-amps are socketed on this board. On the other boards, they are not. So that's a pretty clear indication that these have been replaced before. Also, one of these sliders, this one, has been replaced with another plastic slider. And you can tell by the missing screws over here that these master volume sliders have been in and out of the unit a few times as well. And then there is this. You can see they tacked some resistors onto this bus system. The resistors are connected here. They're connected together, and then there are two wires coming out, connecting to over here to the same point. So I guess it's redundant wires for improved reliability or something like that. So yeah, this is just not very good. But it's not a total loss. The potentiometers along the channel strips are looking quite nice. So they are definitely worth salvaging. And as you can see, there is a lot of them. So now that you've seen everything about this mixer, you're probably all wondering, does it work? Well, I was wondering the same, so I have it all hooked up now to an amplifier and a couple of speakers. We'll see just how much noise we can get out of this. So we turn this on, and now these VU meters actually light up. Let's see if we can see that. Initially, there is silence, but that is because I have the master faders turned down. So if I bring those up, you probably won't be able to hear that, but there is now a bit of mains hum. And now, let's go through the channels. Now, if I bring a channel up, you can probably already hear the white noise. And that is, of course, very much dependent on the level setting, the input amplifier. So let's bring in another one. And another one. Yeah, this channel definitely has some bad op amps. Because this sort of noise, this is not your... Oh dear. Well, there are a lot of bad contacts in the potentiometers. But no, you can hear this sort of unsteady noise. That's a sort of bad semiconductor noise. So this channel has got a problem. This channel, I don't know why it has hum like that. The mains cable is not interfering with it. So that's very random. Also, it turns out these LEDs, these are not like, I thought they were indicator LEDs for the PFL switch, but no, they're peak LEDs, and as you can see, their behavior is very, very random. Because there is nothing on this channel that could make this peak LED go on. Let me turn down the buzzing channel. This one is another one. Well, the hum is not as loud as it is over here, but there is hum in there. And yeah, so it's not very good, as you can certainly hear. If you can't hear it, try listening to the video on headphones. I'm not going to hook up any music sources to this, because with all these scratchy and dirty potentiometers, I doubt we'd be able to get any sort of a signal through this mixer. So that's it. That's this mixer explored. We found out it wasn't very good when it was new. It has since had several amateur repairs and modifications done to it. And yeah, it is in absolutely terrible cosmetic condition. So I'm now pretty sure that I'm just going to salvage all the interesting parts from this, and then I'll dispose of the rest. It's also going to save me a bunch of storage space. So that's it for this video. Thank you for watching.